Crafted comedy
by Great Wolf.
It's the talk of people in the know. Welcome to the G-Block Show.
Now here is a preview of this week's G-Block Show podcast.
I'm supposed to shovel. I'm supposed to get out there and shovel that snow off my entire sidewalk. Now some people, maybe you had to go to work. Yeah, maybe they're one of those people. They're like, no, they have to go to work. What are they going to do? Maybe some people are older, elderly, and there's only going to be so many people in the neighborhood who can shovel the walk. But yet it is your
And now let's listen into G-Block Show.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Fine, thank you. How are you? I'm just fine, but as always, I have something on my mind, and obviously it's not my hair. Yeah, well, anyway, we'll talk about hair in a little bit. I'll just do a little update how I'm doing here with these wigs that I'm selling, the don't touch my hair thing. But what I want to talk about is when it snows here, if you have a sidewalk, you're supposed to shovel your sidewalk. If you live in a condo, I don't think you need to do that. I hope not. You're paying those condo dues or fees or whatever. They should come with that. Just like mowing the yard, right? Oh yeah. We don't have to shovel nothing. We don't have to mow nothing. We don't do nothing. Yeah, it's kind of a do nothing thing. Yeah, well, when you own a home, it's a little different, but they shovel the sidewalk nonsense. Well, the city has on you, and I want everybody out there who lives in an area where it snows, please pay attention to what I'm saying here, because it's going to save you a lot of trouble. It can save us all a lot of trouble if we'd all band together, and let's stop this nonsense. And let me just paint the picture for you, all right? When it snows in the city's got the snow plows out and all that, some of them, most of them, and that's all good and fine, but it just depends on the snow. And then they'll always say, we can't get everywhere, we're only human, we don't want to have, and it's stupid to have 1,000 snow plows just so you can get everything plowed in 2 hours, especially if you live in a place like I do where it doesn't really snow that often, and if it does, it doesn't snow that much. But sometimes when it does snow a significant amount. So the city is always saying, okay, now just bear with us. Okay, we're doing the best we can with the limited resources we have and all this stuff. And it's like, great, that's wonderful. But no, we're good. But they'll also say, now on the side streets, you're pretty much on your own, dude, because we just do not have the plows. And I think this is almost every city in the United States where it snows. You just got to expect on the side streets, you just got to take it easy. And everybody's expected, by the way, don't be driving here or there. Don't be doing this unless you've got snow tires and studs and in some cases, chains are required. Yeah, because they don't want you going out there and getting in an accident if it can be avoided. So it's up to you, because if you want to make the trek, you need to, for whatever reason, you need to get out onto the public streets. It's up to you to get the chains if you need them, and it's up to you. You're also expected to have studded snow tires, and you can get ticketed if you do not. If you get out there and you're not, you don't have, you get an accident, especially. It's and even your insurance rates will go up and everything because you did not do that little extra before you ventured out. You did not make sure you had studded snow tires, or if in the case where you needed chains, you did not make sure you had chains, or you didn't chain up. So look at what they make you do. But if you want, you can just stay home. That's just fine, too. In fact, we just leave you dead, on these really snowy days. Everybody stays home. It just makes it that much safer for those who actually have to be out. But for those of you who have to be out, this is what you need to do, unless you're taking public transportation. Okay, that's good. Okay, now that's good, and I'm all for it, and I think everybody, reasonable persons, all get that. So, why is it that people who venture out to walk, that's a whole nother, no. These people venture out to walk, they need not worry about having special shoes or putting on kind of traction devices on their shoes or walking a certain way or whatever. No, because as a homeowner, I am supposed to shovel my walk. I'm supposed to get out there and shovel that snow off my entire sidewalk. Now, some people, maybe you had to go to work. Yeah, maybe they're one of those people. They're like, no, they have to go to work. What are they going to do? Maybe some people are older, elderly, And there's only going to be so many people in the neighborhood who can shovel the walk. But yet it is your responsibility, Mr. Homeowner, to shovel your walk. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We don't want to hear any excuses. Yet you, Mr. Pedestrian, you're exempt from all the things that a person who drives a car has to do. Yep. If you feel, it may be dangerous and treacherous out there for a car, and that's why we require that you put on the chains and then you have the studs and all that, because we as a city just might not be able to get everything cleared. At the same time, if you're walking, you just wear any shoe you want. Doesn't really matter if you're even that good at walking. Maybe you're kind of, you got all kinds of medical issues that make you more prone to fall or whatever. No, that's fine. No worry, Mr. or Mrs. Walker. You're just, not asking anything of you. And even though the city is not required to clear all the streets, you, Mr. Homeowner, had better shovel your sidewalk. So, what I'm saying here, if it isn't already really evident, is it's like, you know what? Why don't we as homeowners say, we'll do what we can with what resources we have, but instead of us all having to go through hell and high water to get our sidewalks shoveled, and some of these sidewalks, by the way, can be pretty long. It's going to be a little bit of work. And then if the snow is still, it continues to snow. It's still snowing. And some people walked, and now it's icy. It's just almost impossible, but you're trying to do your duty. It's just dangerous for the elderly people. Easy way to get heart attacks. Every year, how many people die of heart attacks? It's almost like that's what the city's hoping for. And there just aren't enough people in the neighborhood that you can, even if you have the money, you can't find enough people to shovel when there's a snowstorm. You've got a couple of the teenage kids or whatever, a couple younger adults, whatever, getting out there and they're doing it. But there's a lot of sidewalk, several feet of sidewalks to be shoveled just for the occasional interloper who wants to go for a walk in the snowstorm. And if it's okay for the city to not have all the streets cleared, and if it's okay for them to ask people who are going out in their cars to have all this stuff, to have the studded tires and that being chained up, otherwise they're in trouble, why is it then not considered the same for us homeowners who have a sidewalk? Why isn't it not incumbent on the person who's traveling by foot to have all the proper gear to make sure that they're going to be safe out there while they're traveling on foot? Why is it not the same to make sure that they have that, just as it is the onus that's put on a person who's traveling by car? Again, this is like so many things that people just sit back and I get so sick of it. It's like, how are you doing? I can't complain. This is exactly why this crap like this is allowed to happen, because nobody knows how to just go seriously. It's right in front of you. Wait a minute. The city can get by with not getting every single road cleared off, and so their answer to that is that you have to chain up before you go and travel in your car. But you, Mr. Homeowner, you better have that sidewalk cleared and safe for whoever decides to travel by foot. Nobody thinks about it. They're just like, oh, okay, that's the way it is. I guess better find some way to get out there and get that snow shoveled. Oh, honey, don't even do that. You just had a heart attack a year ago, and oh, honey, they'll sue me if somebody falls on my sidewalk and if they slip and fall. It's all over for us. We could probably lose the home at this point. I better get out there no matter what, even if it kills me. Yeah. And it's because you can't complain. Learn to complain. And now, again, when I say it's always this, I'm not talking about complaining about stupid stuff like the rain or whatever. That's no. But people lump this all together. It's like, to say, today was supposed to be sunnier than it is. No, nobody wants to hear that. But this other stuff that we just like a bunch of zombies just accept, okay, no problem. Yeah, city, no problem. You can't clear the road. We're perfectly understanding of that. As our tax dollars, I don't want you going too crazy anyway. But no, sure, you better bet. If it snows, oh yes, I'll get out there. I'll do whatever it takes to get it shoveled in case that couple that wants to go for a little walk in the snow comes walking by. I don't want them to fall. I'll do that. Bow down to something so ridiculous that the city ever came out with such a thing, and the first city that did it, who knows which one it was, some northern city, it was, like Chicago or Minneapolis, something like that. The first one that did it, they should have said, whoa. People should have complained. They should have said, no, not going to go out and show. You kidding me? I'm not going to shovel my walk. Especially as much as it snows. It just snows and it snows. I no sooner get it shoveled and it's snowing again and I have to, I can't do that. How about, instead of that nonsense, how about we make it so that nobody walks unless they feel comfortable? And if they don't, they shouldn't be walking. And tell them, give things like maybe they should wear a certain kind of shoes or something like that. Put it on the individual who's out there walking. That's a lot easier for me, from what I can see, as a person going walking. Put on some shoes, like when they got these like those clamp-on things. How hard is that? It'd take me 2 minutes longer, if that, to put on the clamp-on shoes. I go for a walk. Instead, we're going to ask everybody to spend, who knows, hours out shoveling their walk. That's a lot easier and a lot smarter, right? Than just asking the individual who's going to go for a walk to spend a couple minutes, if that, putting on these extra traction devices on their shoes. You know how come it's the way it is? You know how come they tell people if they don't clear their walk, they're going to get sued if somebody falls? So you better get out there and clear your walk. You know how come that is? That's because people don't complain. It's all because of that. So the first time this happened should have been the last time. People should have stood up and said, no, sorry, city of whatever. No, we're not doing that. Who's the idiot who came up with that? Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and listen to today's show. And just remember, always just as simple as can be, just go out, be kind to one another, and love one another, as much as possible. Now, we'll catch you back here next time on the G-Block Show.
You've been enjoying another episode of the G-Block Show, and we hope you're telling your friends about the G-Block Show. If you have feedback or suggestions or would like to be a G-Block Show sponsor, please contact us at gblockshow.com. Hey, for the price of a fancy store-bought card, I will make you an online video card. An invitation, greeting, birthday wish, get well, congratulations, anything, and perhaps more than what you'd buy a traditional boring card for. I can make it for you. It's great because it's online and it can be shared or sent to anyone and everyone. No postage needed. And I'm sure you'll agree that I'm way more entertaining and lovable than any paper card. And not to mention I'm a celebrity. Oh, it's so easy. All you have to do is go to www.gblockshow.com. And that's all one word, G-Block-Show. And then, of course, a little .com. I'm very salty, and I can't wait to hear from you. Well, I can, but I'd rather not.